Hi, everyone. Okay, so you are a disco ball and nobody can hurt you. Your heart, I can hear people laughing outside, so that's just a confirmation, but your heart is too big for this world. And you've been doing a lot of things alone, whether this has been for a really long time or just something you've been feeling recently where you've been isolating yourself or you've taken on a more independent energy and role in your life because you just feel more comfortable and you feel more safe just being alone and doing things alone because you don't trust the people around you. You're someone, I believe that you are very empathetic, right? You care a lot about the people in your life, about the animals in your life, just the world around you and everything in it. And when you're around people who take advantage of that energy, it completely drains you. Completely drains you. To the point where when you're around people like that, you might need to step away for a few days after the fact just to regain that energy back that was taken from you. This is also an energy of people who don't have good intentions towards you, right? People who see your kindness and not only take advantage of it, but hate you for it almost, is how I'm feeling. Like, misery loves company, right? And you're not a miserable person. And even if you are, you mask it very well, right? Because you show up into spaces with kind, loving energy. You are kind to everybody no matter what, because you don't know what they're going through. And if they are going, like, when you meet people who are miserable, you're almost extra kind to them because you know that they're hurting inside. And miserable people don't like that, right? when you're kind to a miserable person, they almost hate you even more. And this light that you give off to people, this warmth and just caring energy that you just naturally give to people. It's not even like you're trying, you just give it to people. People either try to take it for themselves or they hate you for it, right? And that's difficult because it's such a natural thing for you to want to care for people. Maybe you're a huge people pleaser, right? And it's such a natural thing for you to want to help people, and some people just can't be helped, or they just straight up don't want to be helped. And that's hard, especially if you're someone who just wants to love and be loved. And I don't believe you're at a point where you're able to understand that having boundaries is okay. It is okay to protect your energy. It is okay to not give love and warmth to people who don't deserve it. And that's what you're learning. Not everybody deserves your light, your love. That is what you are learning. Not everybody deserves it. And you are allowed to keep that energy for yourself and to give that energy to yourself. Just because you have love inside of you, it does not mean that it is meant for other people. Maybe it's just meant for you. right? Give yourself a hug, give yourself that love, because right, it's my lover's card, but the love that you have inside of you is only meant to be given to people who truly deserve it. And I think a lot of your life, you've given it to only people who are hurting, right? Only to people who are hurting, people who just take and take and take from you. Maybe that's what you thought your purpose was, right? Helping people who are hurting. And as you get older, you need to realize that that might be the case for some people, but that is not the case for you, right? This love that you have, this sweetness, this empathy that you have, moving forward, only give that energy and that love to people you can truly trust, people who you know deserve it. And understanding that some people are just leeches, and you have to understand that those people do not have good intentions towards you. They will just take and take and take, and they will give you nothing back. They will just drain you completely. And you know that. You're able to differentiate certain types of people, but it's still hard, especially when you do care for people. If this is like family members or friends who just completely drain you emotionally and physically, that's a hard lesson to learn, that just because you care about people does not mean that they care about you. And that is what you need to learn, that this love that you have needs to only be given to people who truly deserve it. And I think you need to learn this lesson because you've given so much of your kindness to people who don't deserve it. It's almost like a part of you has learned like you've given so much love to people who don't deserve it that a part of you has almost learned to believe that you don't deserve it back. And that is so sad. It's like you've been hurt so many times in your life trying to love others who don't deserve it. That in turn has made you almost feel unlovable, right? The amount of love you are able to give to people who are unable to give it back has just left you like almost feeling like you're the problem. Maybe you feel like you're too much for people when that's kind of insane, right? To believe that giving too much love makes you feel like you're the problem when you've been receiving the bare minimum from people, thinking that that was the standard when that is not the standard. You are the standard. And that's hard, right? Because most people are shut off and they are not able to feel as deeply as you are. And maybe that's a good thing, because that just means when this love does find you, they're going to be able to meet you at the depth that you have always had. And that can be lonely, right? But you are going to be met where you need to be met emotionally, physically, mentally. You need to be met at the level that you are, because you have been dealing with people way down here, but you are way up here. And you deserve somebody like you who can love the way that you love. Because you have been taking on energy that is not yours. I think that you are very, very empathetic, where you take on the energies around you. And if you are someone who was raised in a household full of low energy people, right? Miserable people, low functioning people. That sounds bad, but then you've taken that on from a very young age. I think you have been the light for a lot of people, and taking on that burden almost for years can almost leave you feeling like that energy is yours. And the older you get, the more you need to realize that just because you are surrounded by certain energies does not mean that that energy is yours. And that's going to be the case probably for your whole life, right? There are going to be certain people, certain cycles that are just going to enter your life that you have to deal with, right? You are always going to meet people that you don't like, people who are going to try and hurt you. Cycles that are going to be incredibly difficult, right? That's life. Life is hard and it's rough. And you are always going to be faced with challenges and challenging people who trigger you, right? Who try to get under your skin, who want to see what makes you tick, right? When people see that you're just a nice, caring person, they are going to try and take advantage of that, right? That's just how some people function. And your biggest lesson is, and from a funny way that I try to put my emotions into perspective when this happens, because there's no way to, you can pretend like you're okay, but that's never going to change the circumstance, right? If this has something to do with family members that you can't escape, if this has something to do with coworkers that you can't escape, right? Those were my two biggest things, was like family and coworkers, right? You come in with loving, caring energy, and it is met with hatred sometimes, right? Bullying sometimes, right? And something that I do when this is happening, when I know that I can't escape certain people or certain situations right then and there, right? Because sometimes you can't. I imagine myself as a disco ball. When people look at you, they see something that they are not. And when you are kind to someone and they are unwilling to take that kindness, they give you hatred back because they don't know what to do with it, right? If someone is full of hate, they don't know what to do with kindness or love. They don't want it. And when you imagine yourself as a disco ball or a mirror of sorts, you realize that you are just shining energy, reflections onto people, And they are going to see what they want to see, right? And if someone is more evolved and has truly worked on themselves and loved themselves to the extent that you do, when they are around you, they feel good, right? They are willing to accept that love, accept that kindness. But if somebody is not there, they look at you, they see themselves, they see a version of themselves that they don't like, right? In you. And that in turn makes them hate you, right? That's when people start projecting their anger, their insecurities onto you. And especially when you're younger, that's incredibly difficult, right? Because you start to believe like you're the problem. When everybody's mean to you, when everyone's projecting their onto you, if that is your parents, if that's your boss, if that's your friends, you start to believe like you're the problem, and you are not the problem. And that is the biggest message here, is that as you go through life, you need to realize that those energies are not yours. You are a disco ball. You are a mirror. And nobody can hurt you, right? No matter what energy you are around, no matter what type of person, situation you find yourself around or in, that is not your energy. You can still try to help people. You can still be empathetic towards people. But you do not need to take that energy on. And that is one of the hardest lessons that I have had to learn, and I'm still working on it. That energy is not yours. You do not have to take it on. You can let people in. You don't need to automatically just shut people out. Like, you can find ways to help people, to connect with people who are acting this way, right? But that is not you. You are safe in your little disco ball, shining light onto everyone and anywhere that you go, right? But you are safe in your little disco ball, and you are just meant to show people versions of themselves, whether that's good or bad. And no matter what is being thrown at you, no matter what energy is being thrown at you, it's not yours. You can let it come at you and let it fall off. You do not have to take that on. You do not have to take on the energies of people who are undeserving of your help, right? Because if you do take on other people's energies, they're just going to feed off of that. And the only person who is going to be hurt, the person who's going to be hurt the most is you, right? And that's not fair to you. And that's not fair for other people to do to you. And once you are able to realize that, and realize that anybody who is going to treat you that way truly doesn't care about you, right? They're just trying to release all of their unwanted emotions onto you. And it is up to you to decide if you want to take that on or not. But my advice, obviously, would be see? You are a disco ball. You are a disco ball. And I know that's a strange way to look at things, but that is how I imagine it in my head when I am going through difficult situations with people or places, right? I just imagine myself as a shiny star that reflects light onto people, and however they want to take that is not on me, that is on them. If you are a mirror to people and they see something that they don't like in themselves, that is on them, that is not on you. That is not your energy to take on, right? So continue to love, continue to shine, but never allow somebody to put their negative emotions and insecurities onto you. Ever. You can help people, but you do not have to take on everything that they are throwing at you. Okay? That's all I got. Love you guys.